Hello and welcome to another shipwreck video. Today we're going to have a look at the wreck of the Cromdale, which was a large sailing ship. It was wrecked right here underneath Bass Point in 1913. And there's some really good old photos of it which will show it ashore and gradually breaking up as the storms hit it. It went to pieces very quickly, so there was very little salvage work or anything like that done on it. So we're hoping there's a nice bit of wreckage here. I haven't really spoken to many people who have ever dived this, so it's a bit of a new one to us. We're going to swim the shoreline now and look for it and show you how we get on.
The steel-hulled sailing ship Cromdale was built at Barclay Curle shipyard in Glasgow in 1891, which was the last clipper ship built for the Australian wool trade. In 1913, while homeward bound with a cargo of nitrate, Cromdale was 126 days out, heading for Falmouth in dense fog, when suddenly a light was seen ahead. The ship tried to turn, but it was too late, and the Cromdale struck the rocks and high cliffs to the east of Lizard Lighthouse. With all the crew safely rescued, Cromdale was declared a total loss, and the ship quickly went to pieces in such an exposed location.
So the story goes here that when Cromdale was wrecked, they actually fired distress rockets off from their position, and you can probably just see behind me there the Coast Guard lookout. Well, that was there back then, so these rockets would have been going off and exploding right up in front of that Coast Guard lookout, which must have given them quite a shock when they were sat in there at night. But the other story is as well that the wreck was that close to the cliffs here that the survivors were actually able to jump on the rocks from the bowsprit. So that's a really good clue as to where it is. I mean, we're just going to swim this whole rock ledge here behind me and we should bump straight into some wreckage. It's got to be along here somewhere. Even after all these storms and all the movement of the sea, it's not going to have gone too far. So shouldn't be too much of a difficult one to locate, this one, hopefully.
We start to swim the coastline where the ship was shown in the photos to be aground, and initially do not find anything. As we go further offshore, we begin to find wreck fragments, and when all of a sudden a large section of steel wreckage came into view. This section of double hawse pipes are actually quite unique to the Cromdale, and you can clearly see these in the old photos of the ship aground when she was still up on the rocks. Behind this is a large scattering of wreck material, a large anchor, several sets of mooring bollards, and a large pile of chain, all from the bow section. Swimming further out again, we discover the remains of her hull, badly broken down but still lying in the shape of the ship's layout. This part of the coastline is well populated with wildlife and is rarely dived, so the local inhabitants seem quite intrigued by us. While we were filming, a large conger eel swam straight in front of us, not taking any notice of us at all. The wreckage continues and eventually ends with a large post sticking up. This is actually the stem of the stern. The rudder now rests beside it on the floor, partially hidden in the dense kelp. There's other identifiable features along the way, which include iron support mast rings, various fixings and rigging, mooring bollards, and deck winches. The dive is soon over as the tide begins to once again flow over the site, and we reflect back on another awesome wreck discovery right here off the Cornish coast.